This Sunday, Huddersfield Giants take on Warrington Wolves in the club's designated Heritage Celebration Day.
The largest audience ever to see a professional rugby match for Huddersfield, 4 times winners of the trophy.
It is a fitting date because it's exactly 100 years to the day that Albert Rosenfeld scored his record-breaking 80th try of the season for the team of all talents. Our media team spoke to the club historian David Gronow, who is the grandson of the team of all talents Ben Gronow.
Huddersfield obviously known, David, for being the birthplace of rugby league. What a lot of people, I don't think, realise is just how much rich history this club has. Shed a bit of light on it. How good were the team of all talents?
Oh, the club's a tremendous history, and the team of all talents sort of verified that. The team of all talents was actually 1914-15 when they won all 4 cups and playing a tremendous passing game of rugby.
So do you think the current crop of players can emulate the success of the team of all talents?
Very much so. I think we've got a great side. We had a good season last year, winning the league. We've a great coach, who can motivate these players. The thing is as well, they've a good backroom staff. Somebody must be doing a good job to keep them fit, because that makes a great thing when you've got minimum injuries, and that happened in the 1914 team when a guy called Albert Bennett kept them all fit. Very, very rare they had an injury. So I think that makes a great deal of difference.
If you could pick out a few of the current players, how do you think they'd compare to the players in the team of all talents?
I don't doubt Brough would go well. They're all fitter, they all look fit guys, but that doesn't take away the accent on the skills. So I think Brough will be all right. The Heritage exhibition that's ongoing now at the Tolson have the life-size figure of Crabtree and Clark side by side, and Crabtree is much taller and much heavier than Clark. But I suppose there's no accounting for skill. I don't doubt that both players have the same amount of skills, but size into everything, of course.
The Huddersfield Rugby League A Lasting Legacy project was launched in 2013 thanks to the Heritage Lottery funding. Project manager Brian Heywood spoke to the Giants media team about the progress made so far.
Brian, if you could give us a little insight into the Huddersfield Giants Heritage Project.
Well, our remit from the Heritage Lottery Fund is to engage the people of Huddersfield in the history and heritage of Rugby League, and we're doing that in lots of different ways. We've trained school children and adults in interviewing techniques, and we've interviewed over 200 people about their memories of Rugby League in Huddersfield. We've collected lots of memorabilia and catalogued and archived it. The best of that is now in a museum at the Tolson World War I Memorial Museum.
I imagine the project's brought up some quite interesting stories.
Yes, some humorous stories, some amazing stories. We've learnt about the life, for example, of a player called Douglas Clark, who played in the great Huddersfield team of 100 years ago. One of the reasons that the project is now is because Huddersfield's great team of all talents, one of only 3 teams ever to win all 4 trophies in one season, did so in 1914-15. One of their great forwards, Douglas Clark, was a Great Britain player, fought in World War I at the Battle of Messines and the Battle of Passchendaele. At Passchendaele, he was a driver. He was driving ammunition to the front line, and he was shelled, and he had over a dozen pieces of shrapnel in his body from 3 separate shells in 10 minutes. He was bleeding to death, invalided out of the war with 95% injuries, and told, "You must never play rugby again." He was also a Cumberland wrestler. He was told, "You must never wrestle again, because if you do, your injuries are going to kill you." By 1919, he was back in the Huddersfield team. In 1920, he toured Australia with Great Britain, and when he retired from playing rugby league in 1929, he took up his wrestling much more seriously. It coincided with the introduction of professional wrestling in this country, and he went on to become the heavyweight champion of the world in wrestling. So it's an extraordinary life story, and one that we've been able to put together in a short film. So that's a particularly interesting story that we've learned.
The Heritage Celebration Day begins on Sunday with a Masters game at Fartown from 11:30, with former Huddersfield players from a range of eras taking part. One of the players and association chairman, Tony Johnson, gave us more insight into the day itself.
If you could just give us a brief insight into what your new role is as the Past Players Association.
Yes, I'm the chairman of the Huddersfield Rugby League Players Association, and my role really is to try and bridge the gap between the players and ex-players, keep them within the game and keep them connected with each other.
It has been a successful period for the club at the moment on the field. How important do you think it is that they do remember the history of the club and where the club has come from?
Yeah, it's very important. The Giants had a really good season last season, finishing top of the league, and what an apt way to celebrate, to have a heritage year after. The getting all the players together is just a brilliant way of continuing that celebration.
This game is also personally very important for me, but simply because it's my 350th game for the Huddersfield Giants. It's a very proud achievement for myself. It's taken a very long time as well, and I'm still going, got a few years left. I'm also looking forward to finally winning some silverware to put it on the honours board and replicate the team of all talents. Your support is really important to the team, so make sure you get down this weekend for our game against the Warrington Wolves. We really need you.